my beautiful baddies. Welcome back to yet another episode of Your Inner Baddie Speaking. Along this journey where you're pouring more love into yourself, you're getting to know yourself on a deeper level, you're really building your confidence and really tapping into your inner baddie. A lot of the times along that journey, you might feel alone. And I mean this in a lot of different ways. It's not just like being removed from friends or not just like one specific way, but I think it's very important to touch on the topic of like, as you heal, you might not always feel like you're not lonely. It might make you feel alone, it might make you feel lonely, and that can be something that's really difficult to navigate, especially as you're supposed to be healing and you're supposed to be pushing forward. And a lot of the times, we focus more on what that destination looks like than what the journey actually is. And I think getting into those pieces of the journey have been very helpful. But as you, keep your inner peace and evaluate what's good in your life and what aligns with your life, both internally and externally, your circle might get smaller and you might feel more alone. Or as you establish boundaries, you might start feeling like, okay, there's some people in my life who aren't respecting them, and you have to make a decision on whether or not they stay within your life. And that can make you feel even more alone. And the fact that during your healing process, there are going to be a lot of times, hopefully, I don't want to say a lot and like make it this scary thing, but it can add up, or at least feel like it's adding up, because anytime that you're removing things from your life that you're used to having in it, it's hard to feel like there's not a void. And it can make you feel alone. And then on the other side of that is you can feel lonely, like you're alone in the pain that you're having. You're alone in the feelings that you're having. You might feel that you're alone on this healing journey. Maybe the people in your life aren't doing the same things or aren't furthering themselves at that time like you are. And that can feel isolating. It can feel like I'm going through this alone. And I know, at least for me, something that I struggled with even before I really went on this journey myself, I struggled with feeling lonely. And I think that has a lot to do, and we could probably do a whole episode on that and dive into that, and the fact that like I have abandonment issues, and I feel like when people leave my life or when I have to leave people, it feels very lonely to me. And it's not, I think it's one of the more difficult feelings that I have to navigate. I think sometimes being sad or being angry for me is a lot easier to explain. It's a lot easier to deal with. And I don't mean that it's actually easy. Navigating through any emotions can be very difficult, but for me, on like a scale, if I had to rate them next to each other, the feeling of loneliness would probably top the charts for me. That is where I can spiral. That is where I can start to succumb to unhealthy things because I want to make it go away. I want my loneliness to go away. And unfortunately, when you are healing, a lot of that you have to do alone. You have to tackle those things alone. You have to get to know yourself as well. So you do have to spend time alone. And I feel like, if this episode was a drinking game and you were going to drink every time I said alone, I wouldn't recommend it, because that's going to be a very dangerous game. But I'm probably going to say that a lot because I want to really emphasize the fact that loneliness can come with this journey, but it doesn't have to make you feel alone. And I say that because you might feel alone with your feelings. You might feel like you're the only one going through what you're going through. You might feel like you're having to remove certain things, and therefore, as you have less and less, you feel more like it's just you. It's getting closer to being just you. And that's I'm not gonna lie, very scary. And when you get down to it, this journey really is about you. Self-love is not always glamorous, and you've probably seen other people talk on that. Like, self-love is not always like face masks and a spa day, or, you know, taking a nap, which honestly, such an act of love. I love that. I love naps. But it's something, a lot of it has to be done with just you. And that can add to this feeling of this experience. And as I was saying, of like me dealing with loneliness, it's the quickest way for me to feel like if I'm starting to feel lonely, I can start to slide into feeling depressed. I can start to feel sad. I can start to feel like no one wants to be around me. And that's kind of how it spins for me, is like, if I feel like I'm lonely, I will then start making up reasons why I feel alone, why people aren't hanging out with me, why I'm not hanging out with them, why no one's calling me, why no one's texting me, why, you know, why, all of those things. And you kind of go down, at least for me, I go down a rabbit hole of like starting to feed into all of those, I would say, insecurities that are probably fueled by that feeling of feeling alone, of feeling unworthy, of feeling unlovable, of feeling not good enough. And it's hard to like tackle those. But I want to say that even though this journey might make you feel like you are more alone than you have been, or it might lead into periods of feeling loneliness, you are not alone. And I want to really emphasize that, so I'm going to say it again. You are not alone. Even if you feel like you are the only one going through this, you might be the only one going through it that you know in your immediate circle, but somebody out there has experienced or is experiencing what you are experiencing. And it might not be the same like verbatim situation, but it can be something similar. It can be a similar, or even if it's not the same situation, it's led to the same outcome of how you are feeling and how you are having to deal with it. And that's to say, like, we're never really alone in how we feel. Like, I remember when I was getting divorced, I didn't know anyone in my circle or in my life who was getting divorced, and I certainly didn't know anyone who was my age getting divorced. I was the first one. Not that I know more people who have gone through it, but I mean, I suppose I do. But at the time, I didn't know anyone who was going through it. And it's actually funny because later on in that process, I actually did discover that another friend of mine was going through a divorce, and I had no idea. And it's just like, that's the thing, is like, you realize you're not alone in it. Somebody else is feeling what you're feeling or going through something like what you're going through. We are on this earth, and I think that's why it's so amazing to share experiences like this, to let other people know that you're not alone in it. You are not alone in your pain. You are not alone in your hurt. You are not alone in the times that you are crying by yourself at your home over something that is happening to you, over the heartbreak or over a tough moment in your life. You are not alone. Somebody else has been there, and I hope that you come across, if it's not this experience, if it's not my experience that resonates with you, I hope that you find somebody else's experience to resonate with. Because I know that when I find that somebody else has gone through something similar or is feeling something similar, I mean, the first thing I think is, I wish they weren't going through it. Like, I almost wish I was alone in it, because I don't want anyone to hurt like I'm hurting. I don't want anyone to go through what I've gone through. So it does suck to like discover other people who have gone through it, because like, you do wish that no one else had to, including yourself. Like, I wish I didn't have to go through any of the things that made me feel upset, sad, depressed. to the point where like you just don't even feel like the sun is shining anymore. Like, I don't want anyone to experience that, but other people have, and it does, in a weird sort of way, it makes you feel better that you aren't alone in those feelings or experiences. Like, somebody else, and if somebody else has gone through it, then how did they get through it? Are they out of it now? What did they do? How did you get through it? Or if they're in it, sometimes it's so nice to have people that are in your support system who hear you and listen to you and are there to help you. But sometimes it feels so good to sit with somebody and talk through something when they're also going through it. Because when somebody gets it and you feel like you're about to explain something and they're like, oh, I've been there, I know exactly how you feel, that's like next level. That in itself is a healing moment. It's like, oh my God, I'm not alone. Somebody else felt it, they get it, somebody gets it, they understand. I mean, it's a really great feeling, and it's almost like a needle in a haystack type vibe, or like a silver lining type vibe. Like, you can be feeling really shitty and you can be going through some stuff, and then you're also like, somebody else is going through it, and the second they feel like you feel understood, you feel seen, it's like a little glimpse of like, all right, I'm not alone. Almost feels like a really good moment within a really terrible moment. You know what I mean? And I feel like anyone who's gone through some stuff, when you have resonated with somebody else, or you have found someone else who is going through what you're going through, those talks can last for hours, because it's like, finally, I found somebody who understands what the fuck I'm going through. And it's so healing. It's so healing. So you're not alone. Other people have likely either been through something or are going through something and can understand and relate to you on that level. And I encourage you, maybe while you're doom scrolling, like, try to find somebody who is voicing something that you are feeling, because when you connect in that way, you don't feel as alone. And it almost gives you some motivation of like, all right, someone else is going through it. Okay, now I feel like I might be able to tackle it. Like, I'm not alone, I can tackle this. Or maybe they're at the stage of their journey where they're like further out of it. Like, I'm further out of my divorce, and I feel like I can shed all of these pieces of my journey and help somebody else who might be going through a divorce, or who might just be going through really shitty heartbreak that like feels almost like it, or just like is going through pain in their life and can resonate with this. So like, maybe you're finding somebody like while you're scrolling, or while you're listening to another podcast or anything. Like, I encourage you to find someone either in your life currently, or somebody that you can connect with that maybe isn't in your day-to-day, maybe on social media, and find somebody so you do not feel alone in what you're going through right now. And also on the feeling of feeling alone and feeling lonely because your circle is going to get smaller, it's the harsh reality that while you level up, and while you heal yourself, and while you pour more love into yourself, you will undeniably discover that people gotta go, and it hurts, and you're gonna have to grieve that. And on top of the grieving of people that you hoped would be in your life for a very long time are no longer going to be there, whether that's by their choice or by your choice, I want to let you know that even if you feel alone, and even if it feels like, fuck, I only have like 2 friends I can go to now, do not let that stop you from staying away from people who are not good for you. Please do not go back to those people, because that will hinder your healing journey. And honestly, there is something to be said about feeling lonely with people who are right next to you. I have felt so alone in relationships. I felt alone in my marriage, which led to like depression and all of that shit, and me feeling like the sun don't shine anymore. Because I felt so alone, even though I was constantly with somebody. And somebody who's supposed to be your lover, who's supposed to be your partner, who is supposed to be a support system, your closest support system. I mean, like, that is the most intimate relationship you could have. They are supposed to be there for you. And when you feel lonely, God, that shit sucks. And I would rather have 2 friends to call and be alone in my apartment with my cat, which I guess technically means I'm not alone. But like, you get it. I would rather be alone in that sense and feel pings of loneliness than be lying next to somebody who is sound a fucking sleep while you are going through it, because you feel like you can't talk to them, you feel like they don't comfort you, you feel like it's almost like you're talking to a wall with them. Like, every need that you need fulfilled, and every emotion that you need comforted, and every bit of you that just wants like to be held, and they're not doing any of that. They're not fulfilling any of that. They're there, but you're not being fulfilled. And in turn, it feels so fucking lonely to be with somebody who's supposed to be filling some of those. And I don't mean like, you know, a partner is supposed to like solve your problems. No. But they are supposed to be like your biggest advocate, your biggest supporter, the person that hugs you when you're crying. And sometimes those are the people who are fucking making you cry. And then they're not solving anything for you. You bring it up, oh my God, you have hurt me. And what the fuck are they doing about it? They're going to sleep. Because they're not losing sleep over it. You are. You're feeling alone even though you're in a relationship. So do not go back to that. You want to have quality in your life over quantity. And the more love that you are giving yourself, the less you will feel like having 2 people to go to is a bad thing, because you've got you. You are going to feel more and more whole, and less and less alone the more that you love yourself, the more that you get to know yourself, the more that you enjoy your own company, the more that you feel like, you know what? Being alone is not the same thing as loneliness. It's not. You might feel pings of it, like, oh fuck, like it's a bright and sunshiny Sunday and I wish I was at brunch with, you know, a group of people, but that's not what's happening today. That's okay. That's okay. You might feel those pings, and you might feel pings of like, man, I really wish I was in a relationship right now. It's natural. That's natural. But you won't really feel lonely because you'll snap out of it quicker the more you love yourself. Because you'll be like, you know what? I'm going to take myself to brunch. You know what? I'm going to take I'm going to take myself to that place that I've wanted to go. You know what? The sun is shining. I'm going to get outside. I'm going to take a walk. I'm going to do things that I love to do with my own company because I fucking love me. And the more you love yourself, the more that you will not feel like you are lacking from anybody else. You will not feel alone because you're giving yourself all those things that you needed, that you weren't getting from other people or weren't getting from yourself previously. And you won't feel lonely. You'll get pings, but it'll go away because you'll be like, you know what? I'm good. I got me. I'm my best friend. I love my company. I'm gonna go do something by myself. And you won't feel so lonely anymore. Like, after I'm done recording this, I treated myself. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have caviar after this because I got free will and I can. And I love myself and I love caviar. So every now and again, I'm spoil myself. I'll have a glass of champagne. I'm gonna have some caviar and I'm gonna fucking treat myself like I'm a luxury. Because I am. And And I deserve every last drop of love I want to give myself. And so all of that to be said of like, you are not alone, and your love will fill all of that so you will not feel lonely, ties into, this is one of the love letters that I wrote to myself because I struggle with loneliness. And the more and more I love myself, the less and less I do. But every now and again, you know, like I said, you get those pings. And so I wrote myself a love letter so I would know that, like, and I would remind myself that I am never lonely when I have me. And you'll always have others in your life. They might come and go. It might feel like you have less right now, or they might feel busy right now. But you do have other support. But when you know that you could rely on yourself and your own support, it's a different type of knowing that you're never alone. So this is the love letter I wrote to myself. I'll love you in all of the moments you feel alone. When your home is quiet, your mind is racing, and it feels like everyone is out living life but you. I will love you. I want you to know that you're never alone. It can feel like it sometimes. You don't have plans, you don't have any texts, refreshing social media, feeling like no one will be around, and no one is around. But that's when you can lean on me. I'll always be here for you, whether you're around other people or by yourself, because I'll never leave your side. You have me. You have yourself. It might seem like you need someone else to fill the void, like you need someone to give you flowers, have a drink with, work out with, read with, watch TV with, but you can give all of that to yourself. You know what you like, and you can do it best yourself. Having people around is comforting, but you won't always be around someone else. And I want you to take comfort in knowing that my love and company stays with you in those moments. Curl up with me and let me love you. And that last bit, like, really always gets me every time I read it, I swear. Because you love you. And when you love you, like, you're not alone. Like, it might feel like I need someone else to love me. I need someone else to support me. I need someone else. I need something else. But everything I search for in someone else, the reason why I'm searching for it is because I have it within me. I give it to myself. I give it to other people. And sometimes it's the hardest to give it to ourselves. Like, when I spoil someone else, why the fuck am I not spoiling me? Why am I not? I love fucking hugs. I love love. I can do that with me, and it does help to have basically a live stuffed animal and having a cat that is cuddly and that I can just hold and squeeze until she decides it's too much and leaves, because she's got batteries too. I can hug myself, I can hold myself, I can be there in the tough moments, and I'm gonna be there through every moment. You're gonna be with you through every moment, so you're never alone. You can love on yourself any day, any time that you ever want to. You can give yourself love every time that you feel like there's this void, because there's no fucking void when you love yourself. You are never alone when you have you. And the more that you go through your inner baddie journey and you realize that you really do have you, you've got your back, you've got you. You realize that that's really all you needed in the long run. You're really all you ever needed. Sometimes what you were searching for, and it's like when you're looking for something, you know, something's missing, you're like, oh my god, I gotta find like my keys or something. Sometimes it's right in front of you, and you just can't see it. And that's a lot like the love that you have. Sometimes you can't see it. Sometimes you feel like you're not worthy of it. you feel like somebody else has to place that in front of you, has to give it over to you. But it's right in front of you. It's within you. It always has been this whole time. And the more that you feel it, and the more that you love yourself, and the more that you sit in those uncomfortable periods of feeling alone and feeling lonely, the more that you will discover why you feel that way, and the more you will discover ways to not feel that way. And I don't mean to like leave and go do things with other people, and yeah, that's helpful. But I mean like the more that you will find ways within yourself to never feel like that. Or if you do feel like that, you'll know exactly what to do to stop feeling like that. You are your best friend. You are the one that you will go through life with. So always remember, no matter if everyone's out doing everything and you feel like you're not, or whatever it is that makes you and triggers you to feel alone or to feel lonely, remember that you have you. Remember that you love you. Remember that you are your best friend. So act like it. Love yourself and take comfort in knowing that you're always there. It's your one constant. It's your one constant. So make it good. All right, with that, say it with me. I'm a fucking baddie. All right, love y'all till next time.